It's road trip time again. Now this road trip's going to be slightly different to our normal ones. Instead, what we're going to do is head up to the Lake District and find some really steep hills, some snow and other terrains, and see how that impacts range. This boasts around 280 miles per single charge, and you can fast charge it too. This is the first edition. They've released a 4 and that comes with things like LED lights. Let's go. We're off on our adventure. We're leaving Silverdale with 180 miles of range, so that's about 3/4 of a charge. Now if you're going to rapid charge this, you can get around 80% in about 55 minutes. This vehicle has 395 Newton meters of torque and 201 brake horsepower. It'll pull 0 to 60 in 7.5 seconds and tops out at 104 miles an hour. It's very quiet, there's not much road noise, but that's the thing about an electric car. It has to be like that, because you travelling along a motorway at around 70 miles an hour, you will get road noise if you don't have a refined cabin with lots of insulation. I can feel the regen through the brakes already. We're set to regen 2. Now we are only in eco mode and it can still shift. Our primary destination is Windermere, which is about 22 miles from here. We'll then likely head up Kirkstone Pass and see if there's any snow. Then we're going to go and try and find the Rhinos Pass and the Hard Knot Pass. Now one of them's supposed to be closed, but we're thinking the other will be open. We'll soon find out. It's going to be interesting to see how the e-Niro copes in snow and with steep climbs as well, because some of these, as I mentioned before, are hills and others are mountains. Even with my intermittent hard acceleration, we've travelled about 2 miles and we've only used 1 mile of range. Hello, Mr. Pheasant. The driving position's very nice. Not really got a blind spot with the B pillar. This is the first time that we've experienced adaptive cruise control in a Kia, and it's very good. As soon as the vehicle in front moves away, you quickly get back up to speed. It's very responsive with braking and accelerating as well. Sport mode makes acceleration far more responsive. You will end up wheel spinning from launch. You'll also end up wheel spinning round corners, as I found out. See a nice straight bit and acceleration hard, up to 60. Extremely good brakes as well.
We can attest to that.
You've got lane keep assist as well, and I can feel it pulling me back into the centre of the lane. As soon as you select eco mode, you feel it has less power and the regen gets stronger. But that's how it feels. Now a clever thing about this car is the regen modes are set with the paddles on the back. How cool's that? Just remember that when you get into a Porsche. Kia! Hello! Quick range update, 173 miles. And I've been driving with a variety of styles. Poodling, flooring it. We still only used around 7 miles of range. And that's pretty much spot on because we're now at Heversham. Regen is now stopping us. I am not braking at all. So this is your control panel. And it's not that too dissimilar to the MG ZS. Got this rotary dial here, which you either select reverse, neutral or drive. And you have your park button in the centre. You can also release your parking brake here. Drive mode's to the left, and you can disable things like your parking sensors. You also have a reversing camera on this car. You've got an auto hold for your handbrake. You can also heat your steering wheel and your heated seats here as well. Now let's try the acceleration up the slip road. Now we pull 0 to 60 in about 7.5 seconds. And hills don't really affect electric vehicles. Power's just there. It just keeps going. And you're very swiftly past the speed limit, so you have to be careful in an electric car. We have another slip road here, so we'll see how we go. Yeah. Now I am seeing a bit of a range drop now, but I am in sport mode and I am joining carriageways. I'll likely recoup some of that back with the regen braking and going back into eco mode. Ooh, retro! Goom's got her hair on the video again. Nice work, Goom.
It's natural.
It is, isn't it? On this new road surface, there's literally no road noise. It's looking like there may be no snow. We may have to go a bit deeper into the lakes. But we'll definitely have some hill climbs. Aboard the vehicle today, we have Annabelle running the gimbal with the digital SLR and my mother in the back with the picnic.
Because what's a road trip without a picnic?
Exactly. Pulling out a roundabout's absolutely no problem. This vehicle will surprise a few people. Right, let's go back into eco mode. And immediately feel it pull back. Let's try normal. You feel it lighten up again. We found them there snow. On top of the peak, right back there.
Right, you're going to do that.
Ultimately, that's where we're heading. Your cluster's nice and straightforward. On the left hand side, we've got an acceleration bar. We've also got a power bar and a charge bar as well. Below that to the right, you've got your lane keep assist, and then you can see the level of regen braking. Currently I'm on level 1. Some rather sweeping bends here, and the car is in essence steering round them. Feels very well under control, and there's hardly any body roll either, but it still maintains comfort.
We're now in the Lake District and we're at a pit stop at Lakeland. I'm now behind the wheel. This is my e-Niro now. It's a great driving position, it's very comfortable. Raised ride height gives you great visibility. Very little body sway. Mind you, I've only pootled around in it, so let's take it out a bit further and see what it's like.
Ooh, a bus with no roof.
Elegant.
Yep, we're here at Windermere now. Lake Windermere on the right, which is actually a mere. We're just about to go down Glebe Road.
As I'm gliding silently around, this electric vehicle is not even disturbing the ducks and the geese. Very smooth, handles well, perfect for pottering around Windermere. Got plenty of pep to get you out of junctions.
Yeah, oh yeah, Kia. Look, Stinger.
As you heard Ben mention before, the driving modes are very characteristic. The sport mode, obviously, is going to give you a bit more of a punch and a wheel spin if you're not careful. And the normal mode feels like a combustion car but without the noise. And eco, well, it does what it says on the tin on that one. Range update, we now are showing 155 miles of range.
Even the roads in Windermere have their little mini road sweeper. We're now starting to head up into the mountains. We're going up Kirkstone Pass to start with. It's about 11 miles to Ullswater, and it looks like Kirkstone Pass is fully passable. Let's just have a look around the cabin of the car. There's mother sat in the back with a picnic. So then there are hills in the background is what we're going to be climbing. We're going to have to stick to the road. But the roads do get challenging, shall we say. And how range is affected. Range update.
Range update, hang on, sploosh. 146.
So yeah, we've economised again now. But that's probably because Annabelle's behind the wheel.
Hello. Hello.
Now the one thing that EVs suffer from is the cold. This has a battery pre-warming system. Mum was just saying the Trough of Bowland's a bit like this. But the Trough of Bowland doesn't have views like that. They're quite steep. I'm back behind the wheel and I'm just going to go through a couple of things about the regen. We've just climbed up Kirkstone Pass and we had either regen 1 or 0. Now why is that? So the braking isn't stopping the motor whilst you're going up the hill, and then when you start coming down the steep hills, put it in regen 3 and then you will feel the braking. It will recoup some back into your battery, but it will also feel safer, more like descent control. Range is staying true to what we thought it would be. We've got 142 miles of range and realistically we've done about 40 miles, and in that we've had some steep climbs and some steep declines as well. And the thing about this vehicle is it does seem to stick very accurately to the range. For example, when you come to it in the morning, it's what it was when you last turned the engine off. It gives you a lot of faith in the range. So, I know I'm saying range again, but realistically, a lot of people, their biggest challenge with an EV is range anxiety. And if you know that number's not going to change unless you start flooring it everywhere, it's going to make you have a lot more belief in the vehicle. Feel the regen now in level 2, and it works exceptionally well around these twisty Lake District roads. Just means you don't have to brake. 9 times out of 10 the regen will actually do it for you, and if you do need harder regen, you've also got level 3. Travelling at around 40 miles an hour on these back roads. It's very well planted, it's very comfortable, and there's no body roll either. Road noise, a little bit, but we've got no petrol or diesel engine. Full electric drivetrain. And let's face it, most of the Lake District roads are a little worn. Realistically, we are not going to get close to the bottom of our range on our tour today. We're just not. And look at that! An off-roading sheep. Not every day you see a sheep run across the road and then scale a wall. But we are in Patterdale. What's it like in the back?
It's very comfortable. I'm enjoying it. I'm ready for the picnic.
So you're coveting your picnic, are you?
I am, yeah.
Annabelle, do you think it's time to stop and have a sandwich?
I think it's about time, yes.
Let's find a nice area. Look at this! We're just coming into Glen Ridding and I've just applied cruise control. It's already detected the car in front and we're starting to slow down. I've got a lot of confidence in this vehicle. The range is true to form. It also handles well, and I've got a lot of belief, considering it's the first time we've used the adaptive cruise control in a Kia, in how it drives, how it gauges the car in front, how it brakes, how it accelerates. It's all very responsive. And remember, this is an early Kia e-Niro as well, the first edition. And there we go, it's braking. And there we go, it's slowly pulling back up to speed. Also gave me a warning, watch out for surrounding vehicles. And we're promptly back up to speed. Ooh, I camped here years and years ago. Nice tight hairpin, around it with no problem whatsoever. The range is now 140, which means we're economising. We're using the regen, and we're not blazing our range as fast as we were. As you can hear from my passengers, we're doing these tight turns quite speedily. To the right of me, views that are just completely astounding. Looks like something of Pirates of the Caribbean when they're in some of the bays. It really is handling these roads well. Would we say there's much body roll, guys, when I'm going into these corners quite sharply? Is there a bit?
There's a little bit of lean, but not much.
Listen to how quiet that is. So peaceful. And that's the beauty of the EV.